Carroll Shelby, a name synonymous with speed and innovation in the automotive world. But before the roaring engines and the smell of burning rubber, there was a simpler time. Shelby was just a kid from Texas with big dreams and an insatiable need for speed. Born in 1923, he grew up in Leesburg, a small town where life moved slower than he liked. The quiet streets and open fields were his playground. Even as a boy, he craved speed. Whether it was on a bicycle or running through the fields, he was always pushing the limits. Shelby's early life wasn't easy. His family faced many challenges and he had to grow up quickly. He suffered from heart problems as a child, which often left him bedridden and frustrated. Doctors told him to take it easy, to avoid any strenuous activities. They said excitement was bad for him, that he needed to live a calm and quiet life. Yeah, right. Who listens to doctors anyway? Certainly not young Carroll Shelby. Instead of slowing down, Shelby found his escape in cars. He tinkered with engines, learning everything he could about them. He raced anything with wheels, from soapbox derbies to old jalopies. He couldn't get enough of the adrenaline rush, the feeling of speed coursing through his veins. From those humble beginnings, a legend was born. Shelby's determination and passion for speed were unstoppable. His passion for cars was relentless, driving him to push boundaries and innovate. He once said, "I'd rather be a race driver for just one day than live to be 100 and never race." That's the Shelby spirit, a true speed demon at heart. From jalopies to race cars, Shelby pushed every vehicle to its absolute limit. He raced whatever he could get his hands on. He loved the thrill of the competition. He loved the roar of the engine. And most of all, he loved to win. His natural talent behind the wheel was obvious. He was fearless. He was aggressive. He quickly rose through the ranks of amateur racing. He caught the eye of bigger racing teams. He was on his way. Shelby wasn't just a driver. He understood cars. He knew how to make them faster. He was a mechanic, an engineer, and an artist all rolled into one. He was destined for greatness. He was a natural-born racer with an unquenchable thirst for speed. He was about to become a true legend. Shelby's career took off in the 1950s, a decade that saw the birth of modern motorsports. He raced for some of the biggest names in motorsports, becoming a household name in the racing community: Aston Martin, Maserati, you name it. Shelby was behind the wheel, pushing the limits of these legendary machines. He was winning races left, right, and center, collecting trophies and accolades wherever he went. He became a national champion, a title that solidified his status as one of the best. Then he set his sights on the world, aiming to conquer international tracks and make a global impact. His driving style was unforgettable, a blend of precision and raw power that left spectators in awe. He was aggressive and daring, never shying away from a challenge on the track. He wasn't afraid to push the limits, often taking risks that others wouldn't dare. He was a true racer's racer, embodying the spirit of competition and the love for speed. He earned the respect of his rivals, who admired his skill and tenacity, and he terrified them a little bit too. With his fearless approach and relentless drive, in 1959, Shelby achieved the ultimate prize in motorsports, a moment that would go down in history. He won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, a victory that cemented his legacy. It's the most grueling race in the world, a true test of endurance and skill. It's a test of man and machine, and Shelby conquered it, proving his mettle. He became a global icon, recognized and celebrated around the world. He was America's racing hero, a symbol of speed and success, but he wasn't done yet. He had bigger plans, always looking to the future and the next challenge. Shelby had a vision. He wanted to create an American sports car that would not only be fast, but also embody the spirit of American innovation and determination. A car that could take on the best Europe had to offer, challenging the dominance of European manufacturers on the racetracks. A car that could win at Le Mans, the most prestigious endurance race in the world where legends are made. That's how the Shelby Cobra was born. It was a car that combined raw power with sleek design, a true marvel of engineering. He teamed up with Ford, leveraging their resources and expertise to bring his vision to life. They put a powerful American engine in a lightweight British chassis, creating a perfect blend of power and agility. The result was explosive, a car that was both beautiful and brutally fast. It was a game changer in the world of motorsports. The Shelby Cobra dominated sports car racing in the 1960s, winning numerous races and setting new standards. It was a thorn in the side of Ferrari, challenging their supremacy and becoming a legend in its own right. It cemented Shelby's place in motorsports history, earning him accolades and a lasting legacy. But Shelby wasn't just a driver or a car builder, he was a visionary. He was a leader who inspired those around him. He inspired a generation of racers and car enthusiasts, leaving an indelible mark on the automotive world. He was a true American original, a pioneer whose influence is still felt today.